Hi everybody, live here on YouTube. I haven't been live on here for a while, and now that I got my Facebook page, I seem to find myself on there a little bit more. So I just thought I'd come on, say hi, and just check in with anybody who wants to say anything, come on the chat. I'm here close to where I live, down at the beaches. So I'm just sitting here against the wall, and out in front of me is Lake Ontario. I'll show it to you. There's a barge out there. We've got people. You know, in the summer this hill can be full of people. So there's people in this barge. I don't know what that barge is doing. It's like got that bucket. You'll see it in a second. Has this bucket there, and it looks like, I don't even know if they're bringing anything up, but they're doing something there. And yeah, so that over there, that's this what I'm leaning up against. Oh, there you can see the barge. Hang on, or the bucket. Back the blue. See the bucket? Yeah. So I really don't know what they're doing, but so this building that I'm leaning against here, and that building, this is the water treatment plant here down at the lake. Yeah, so there's people, lots of young people just goofing around and hanging out and stuff. So, and where will you be going? I don't know. Tomorrow. Facebook Live tomorrow. Well, I might be downtown Toronto tomorrow. There's a bit of a protest going on, so I might be there. It'll be in the evening though. So look how pretty the lake is. And if I face it that way, if I actually got up and went that way, you'd be able to see, I think you can see the bluffs and stuff. There, back to me. Well, I might. I don't feel like getting up, but I can. It's just nice to just be sitting around. Perfect. Love downtown Toronto. Do you? Where will you be going? Okay, you said that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just stay sitting. It's just kind of nice just to sit here. So what's everybody got going? What's happening? I'm sure everybody or most people on here watched the French debate, leadership debate, and that was quite the thing. I liked that Pierre just kind of stayed very stable, just very on point. He did give what's his name, Carney, a bit of a stinger, and saying, "Aren't you embarrassed to be asking Canadians to vote you back in for another term after the mess you've made of this country?" So I thought that was really good. He made it very clear of the Conservative Party's stance on abortion, which is one of those issues, but he made it very clear that they won't muck around with that. The woman has the right to do with it, with her body as she chooses. Jagmeet was just a goof, but whatever. So yeah, I was watching Northern Perspectives recap, and I agreed with Ryan. When I was first watching the debate, I thought, I have a feeling Pierre and what's his name, Bloc, I can't think of his name now, the leader of the Bloc. I think they might have had a little chit chat beforehand to say, hey, we're in Quebec, you do your thing, I'll do mine, but you go, you take the lead on this. And just like, who cares about Jagmeet? And Carney was just an idiot. But what was, of course, really the highlight of the whole night was in the media scrum afterwards, when Rebel News and Juno and True North got to ask questions. And they asked some very good questions. And Jagmeet wouldn't answer any Rebel News, like he's just a baby. So they were good questions. I thought Keenan Beck's question about, do you think Justin Trudeau was a good prime minister? That was a good question. the fact that that Carney is holding on to pretty much the entire cabinet, the same cabinet that Trudeau had, is interesting. And the fact that he has Marco Mendicino as his um, chief of staff. Marco Mendicino, for those that don't know who he is, he was the safety minister during the truck convoy and lied and lied and lied and lied. And so he was part of the group, including Bill Blair and Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau, that invoked that Emergency Act. So, and of course, and Keenan also mentioned the fact Pat King was Facebook Live the other day. Oh, good. The fact that Marco Mendicino was the safety minister that allowed Paul Bernardo, serial killer Paul Bernardo, to be transferred from maximum to medium security. And so he mentioned that. And of course, Mark Carney just fumbled through the answer. And then the question that Alex Solton gave to Mark Carney, the question of how many genders are there, and in Canada, should there be, should women be allowed their own spaces, including prisons, etc. Mark Carney, oh yeah, there's two sex, where sex isn't involved or whatever, how he said it. As far as sex is, there's two genders, but we're in Canada, okay. Mark Carney, I think all of us probably know that. And mumble, and Canadians, like, just a really pathetic answer. And yeah, the Rebel News asked some good questions about the churches that were burned, and of course that didn't even get answered. But Sheila Gunn Reid asked a good question, Pierre Poilievre, with regard to the pro-Hamas protests that are going on all around this country, and should people be deported? And I would suggest you go watch that if you haven't. You can go on to Rebel News, and they've got it just entitled Rebel News. I forget what they titled it, but you'll see it. It's like Rebel News ask questions, or like the media scrum, or whatever, like just the Rebel News. So they've highlighted their own questions and stuff. So really good questions, and when Pierre answered, I thought very directly, very calmly, and very directly. So I'm very much looking forward to the the English debate tonight. They say that they've taken off immigration is not going to be one of the issues that is going to be allowed to be discussed. Now, one of them may very well have slided in there. Who knows? Or it may be asked during the press scrum. I don't know. And what they'll be talking about, I don't think they've put that out as to the subject. So it will be interesting. I certainly hope Pierre Poilievre comes out without being, this is going to be his challenge, of course. Not that I've never seen him bully anyone all through the House. He just asks questions directly. Yes, it is sad news about Chris, but he's dealing with that, and he's got something going on there. Yeah, it's just shitty. Like, really, all of the whole truck convoy arrests and charges and sentencing is just really bad. Bad for those people, of course, each individual, and really bad for Canada. So, yeah, I feel for them, for sure. As I say, yeah, so I do hope that Pierre comes out and is strong, direct and strong, like he does. Just the number, that type of thing. But not even that, but being direct without being bullying. And I do hope that he's able to, or any of them really, but I hope it's him. I hope he's able to trigger Mark Carney, so that Canadians can actually see Mark Carney. Not only is he not a great speaker, but he has an anger issue, I'd say. Oh, here I want to tell this story. So I'm wearing my Pierre Polyev shirt, which I kind of, I said I'm going to wear this every day. And pretty much every day I get somebody stopping me and saying, they start out with, oh, I like your shirt. So last night I was speaking with my son. Hey, child of mine, who is an adult. Sorry I won't mention your name or anything, but one of my children I was talking to and said, about wearing this shirt. And they're like, oh my God, you're not wearing a political shirt around, are you? Like, oh yeah, I'm wearing my They Lied. But we won't get too much on that because I don't want YouTube banning me. But just go on that website if you haven't, let people know about it. So he says, oh, you're not wearing a political shirt around. I'm like, oh my God. Now, normally I would never have done that. But I just feel like we're in such a mess here. And so I am. And he was trying to get me to promise not to wear it. But I said, no, I can't do that. So today I put it on, of course, and I went down to the beach. And I was doing my Facebook live stream, like my check-in thing. And I finished up and I was heading back up off of the beach, and this guy, this gentleman, he says, oh, I like your shirt. I'm like, oh, do you? Okay, we started talking. And then, I don't know, his wife or whatever, the woman he was with, comes down and she says, hey, woman I'm with, I don't know, I forget her name. Do you like her shirt? Oh, yeah. And so I got itchy. So we got chatting about politics. So as much as I get it, how anyone, let alone my own children and my own son, it's kind of hokey wearing political stuff. We're in this place right now that we're almost kind of, not we have to, of course, but we're in such a mess that it's important, I think, to make ourselves known, and then we can talk to each other. It's just sort of a way. Anyway, I think I'm done. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? I say I will probably, the one thing about going on Facebook Live, it's sort of easier. I don't have, and with YouTube you have to do all these settings and blah blah blah, and then it goes up, and that's fine. But whereas YouTube, you just go on, Facebook, you just go on and go live, and then I can download it and all of that and use it eventually. Yeah, I think that's it. So I don't know what I'll be doing. I don't know if I'll be doing it Facebook Live tomorrow, or I'll go and come on here. I don't know. I barely know from one minute to the next what I'm going to do. So I hope everyone's well, and we've got a week and a little bit to go before we actually have all the votes and the votes counted and the election done and get the results, and then we can move forward from there. I certainly am hoping. Oh, you're welcome, Bob. Anybody's in Toronto and feels like coming down to, well, you know what, I don't even want to say on here. This is where we've come to. If I start saying where I'm going to be or what I'm up to, those that are kind of opposing what we're doing, they come along and they disturb stuff, and I don't want to do that. So you just have to keep an eye on me. But if you're in Toronto and you kind of want to join me, I don't know, message me or something. I don't know, really. Yeah. So I think that's it. I hope, as I say, everybody's doing well. And yeah, once this election is done and over and counted, and we have a newly elected government, we will go forward from there. I personally, I would really like to I'm hoping, for my current point, I hope the Conservatives win, and we will certainly keep an eye on it, but I'm hoping we can just take a little bit of a breather, You don't have to watch the craziness of the... Here, I'll turn around for those that have just joined me and see where I am. I'm at the beach here in Toronto. The beach is kind of down there. You can see I'm up here on the hill. There you go. There's a little piece of the beach, and then it continues that way. And this is the water treatment plant. I'm going to try and get my body up and moving here. My body's getting kind of wrecked from all this jumping around and moving around. Oh, somebody's on a in a what do you call it? Kayak. I saw these two guys a little while ago. It was so cool. It was obviously motorized, and they were on. They looked like skateboards. Yes, water is good for the soul, Gary. So look, here it comes. Look at that kayak. So these guys were on these little things that really didn't look any bigger than a skateboard, and they were zipping along, and I thought it was so cool. So yeah, these things were obviously motorized. So we got this barge doing something also. It's pretty down here, isn't it? I'll see if I'll go down the next level. See this where that guy's standing there? I'll go down there. Hopefully I don't go tumbling down the freaking hill. So I've got both hands moving here. And I'll show you. You can kind of see when I point the camera that way, you'll be able to hopefully see the bluffs and probably even see the nuclear power plant, which is in Pickering. So you can kind of get your map out if you feel like it. And down there, see there's this fence, and down in there, the beach continues, of course, across along the shoreline. And they used to, I think they still call it, but they called that the secret beach. And people would kind of go down in there. And sometimes there would be tents down there. I don't see any right now. So people would kind of live there. All right. Oh, I gotta go all the way down. All right, I'm gonna go this way. You guys still with me? Sometimes when you're going like down through there, I am, going down grassy hills, you could hit a slippery spot and then I go flying. And I don't want to do that. I'm not in the mood. These young guys down there, a little while ago, they had their shirts off and were standing up on the railing. And I thought, oh God, I hope they don't jump in, because this lake is cold. Like, it's cold even in the middle of the summer. It's freezing. Pat King is a clown. Oh, I see. Well, I think a lot of us don't agree with you, whoever BB is, but hey. The nice thing about the country we're living in at the moment is we still have some semblance of free speech, and so you can, and free opinion. You can have yours, but they're very, very cold.
Yeah, I know.
Very cold. Then you would have been probably in shock, and wouldn't have been good. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good day.
Sure. Yeah, you too. Is that yours?
I think.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. It just keeps on disconnecting, so I'll probably just leave this. Say goodbye to you guys. All right, because I just don't want it to keep disconnecting. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll talk to you guys whenever. I just thought I haven't really been on a live and just kind of chit-chatting for quite a while here on YouTube. So see you guys. Bye.